So we are back for part 2 of the Q&A video, and I have a couple more questions that I want to get into because you guys had some really good ones. So let's go and check some more questions for you guys. I've got some really good questions here straight from my group. It is linked down below for all of you guys who haven't joined yet. If no matter where you are in your homeschooling journey, you guys are more than welcome to join our homeschool group. I would love to have you. This is for new homeschooling parents. This is for parents who've been homeschooling for a long time, and for people like me who just want to meet other homeschooling parents. If you live in an area where there's just not a lot of homeschoolers and you just want some homeschooling friends, because do not knock online friends. I love my online friends. Military wife, sometimes online friends were the only friends that I had. So come check it out. It's a very genuinely sweet group. Okay, so in the last video, and I will try to link it up here or down there, I did a Q&A video. There were some great questions and I took a little longer answering some of them. So this one I'm gonna answer some more. So I have a question. How to handle it if your child is behind where they should be or if they're possibly special needs? I am not trained in special needs, so that's not really a question that I can answer fully when it comes to special needs. What I'm basically saying is I don't think that this is something that you really need to put too much stock in when we talk about kids being behind. A lot of times I think parents put way too much pressure on themselves. And I think that is because a lot of parents don't realize what teachers actually do in a school setting. I know it's been a long time since a lot of us have been in school, but because I taught for a while and I have, I've gone through the training for it, I know all the things, okay? A lot of times teachers do not finish the curriculum by the end of the year. There may be several chapters that we never even finish before they go to the next grade level, okay? So I want you guys to be aware that you're not doing a worse job than the school system, okay? I can tell you that right now. You are not doing a worse job. If your child takes longer than anticipated to learn something, especially when we're talking about math, the beauty of homeschool is you can take all the time you want to learn that subject. Take the time you need to master it before you move on, because if you move on before they've mastered that, you're doing what the school system is doing. And we homeschool our kids so that doesn't happen, right? We homeschool our kids because we don't want to teach the herd. We want to teach that child, okay? That's your job as a parent and as an educator. The beauty of homeschooling is that we can do those things. We are not under pressure. There is no behind in homeschooling. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. When it comes to homeschooling, there is no behind, okay? This is a 12-year schooling journey. I want you to look at the whole picture and not at what is in front of you today, like fractions or multiplication. If they are behind what you think they should be at, it's okay. It really is. You don't need to push them to go further. You don't need to push them to go to the next grade or even to the next concept. Master what they are struggling with and move ahead at their own pace. Everything will work out. Don't worry. They won't go off to college not knowing how to multiply. I promise you. They are going to get it in their own time, just like reading. Nobody's going to go off to college not knowing how to read. If they're struggling in phonics, it's going to be okay. Hopefully I answered that question well. I know somebody out there is going to disagree with me, and that's okay. So I have a question asking about Night Zookeeper and all the ways that we use it. So Night Zookeeper has all kinds of things. Night Zookeeper is basically a supplemental language arts program, and I do not recommend using Night Zookeeper as a stand-in for regular curriculum. We still do IEW, which love IEW. And we still do, our Rebecca reading program. We still do spelling. We still do all those things, okay? However, if your child struggles in language arts, this is a great thing to do. Or if they love language arts, this is a great thing to do because they're playing a game, but they're learning. So my son actually wrote his first book. He's on his second book right now. He started writing it within Night Zookeeper. When he really started getting comfortable with the writing program within Zookeeper, that's what inspired him to start using Microsoft Word. So he's been doing Zookeeper for about a year now, and now he's moved on to Microsoft Word. He still uses Zookeeper for the short stories, but it's easier for him to print out his stories on the printer if we're using a Word document. But it's way more fun to use Zookeeper. So a lot of times he'll write it in Zookeeper and paste it in a Word document and then print it out for his friends to read. And that really got him comfortable with typing, with how to use his hands on the keyboard, all of those really good typing skills. You know, he did a typing class, I want to say 2 years ago, but he's learned to type so much better with Zookeeper because it got him used to getting in there and actually writing things rather than just doing drills. I think for him, actually writing stories worked a lot better. So there's all kinds of different ways you can use Zookeeper. I know a lot of kids get distracted sometimes with the little avatars and things. If you can get your kids past that, there's a whole world of things that open up in there. Also the books. My son has all of the books for Zookeeper. He loves the chapter books and he eagerly awaits each new one that comes out. I believe they just released the 5th one around Christmas time. Go ahead and look into it. I have a 50% off coupon if you guys want to use it. Use the free trial and see if it's for you guys. And if your kids like it, then use the 50% coupon to get that off for you guys. And it's because I'm a Zookeeper affiliate, they give me that coupon for you guys to use, which is why I wanted to be an affiliate of theirs, because I love their program. It's done wonders for my son, and it really helped that build up into IEW. So how we did it was so my son was struggling with writing and composition. So what we decided to do was we went into Zookeeper and he fell in love with it. And I was like, okay, this is great. And then I learned more about IEW's program, and it's a lot like Zookeeper with an instructor, and it's an actual curriculum. And that helped him transition into IEW, and he had so much easier of a time doing that. He started in 3rd grade, he's now in 5th, and it was one of the best decisions I ever did. And it's gonna be great for those times when you're not really doing school, like summer or breaks and things like that, just to keep their minds fresh and going and creative. So it's great for so many kids. I absolutely love the program. What do you and your husband do to spend time together and stay connected? My husband was in the Marine Corps he was a lifer. He got injured at the end of his career and he retired a little bit early, and now he's home all the time. So our situation is a little bit different just because of that. So he's home all the time, but our kids are home all the time too. So my whole family is home all day, every day. I work at home, I'm a business owner, and it does get a little weird sometimes. I'm so used to him being away, and now he's home, and that was really an adjustment period for us. I was used to him working 12 to 16 hour days at the military base, and now he's home all the time. So there was definitely that adjustment period, and I have loved every second of having him home. He is my best friend. He is the person to help me, and he's been helping teach the kids. But when it comes to time for me and him, we really had to get advice on this sometimes. Because we weren't even sure, like, how do we do this? This is such a different stage in our marriage where our kids are teenagers, but it almost feels like retirement at the same time. Our kids are both home and they're still in school, but it feels like he and I are retired. So, we're just shy of 40 right now, and I expected this in about 10 years. I didn't expect this now. So what we have been doing is, because our kids are teenagers, they are well over the age to stay home by themselves. So what we do is sometimes in the middle of the day, we go out for lunch. And that's what we'll do during the day to just spend time together. And at night, we watch K-dramas. Huge K-drama fan. So when my husband was in the military, we spent time in Okinawa. I loved living in Asia. I would move back there in a hot second if I could. If I could afford it and I could have the medical care that I needed there, I'd be gone, y'all. I would be over there, overseas, living life. Loved it in Okinawa. I got used to the life and the culture, and one thing that I just never was able to let go was the K-dramas. We actually watch K-dramas together. My husband actually doesn't mind it because the plot lines are usually very good, and for people like us who got rid of TV because a lot of this smut and the just grossness on television lately, Korea and Asia in general is usually pretty conservative. And you're gonna find television shows that don't have a lot of the things that American TV has, which is just so refreshing. And then sometimes during the day when the weather's really nice, we'll go outside and sit together and we'll just talk by ourselves. We do that. Sometimes we are reading a really good book and we'll talk about it with each other, especially if it's a book that like our whole church is reading. You know, he'll read and then I'll read and then we'll talk about it type of thing. But yeah, I mean, we keep it pretty simple. I don't think, especially when you have kids, you should keep it very complicated. You know, I think it needs to be kept pretty simple and things that, you know, are realistic. Now, with the gas prices right now, we're not doing a whole lot of traveling, even if it is to go get lunch, even though we were out today, so we did go get lunch. Because I was at the hospital this morning, so, which is why, like, I look a little pale, but, you know, I didn't think y'all would mind. So, you guys are so nice. So, he took me to Chick-fil-A. What is a good speed reading course? Any recommendations? So, one thing that has helped my son with his reading speed and comprehension has been these from Abeka. These are really cheap. They're like $10 or something on the Abeka site. They are read and comprehend skill sheets. He's been doing them since grade 3. He's in grade 5 right now. And these, you do like 1 or 2 of these a week and this will make their speed go up. So what they'll do is they'll read a passage, they'll have so much time to read and answer questions on the back of that passage sheet. It's all multiple choice, there's no fill in the blank, and they will usually have between 3 and 5 minutes to read the passage and answer the questions, and then when the time is up, it's up. And there's usually 10 questions and then you just record their score. It's part of their reading grade in Abeka. It's part of the language arts program. It's built right into the program. I think it's wonderful. Honestly, the speed and comprehension drills have made him into a faster reader than me sometimes. And I have been able to kind of watch and chart how quickly he has really grown with that. And even in the 8th grade level, my son still was doing the speed and comprehension type of things, even though the format changed a little bit. Okay, what is a homeschool convention like? I am sorry to say I've never been to a homeschool convention. I wanted to go so bad, and the only time that I actually had the opportunity to go, COVID happened and the pandemic happened and everything was canceled, and I was so sad because I wanted to be able to go and look at the books and to touch them and to talk to the people and to meet other people. Yeah, it didn't happen. I was so sad. I'm hoping that I can go sometime maybe this coming year. I know that there are some speakers I would love to hear at some of these conventions, and I'm just so sad I didn't get to go. With a husband in the military, a lot of times when we would live in certain places, we wouldn't live anywhere near where they were having a convention, because sometimes bases are like way out in the middle of nowhere land, and it's just not even in a drivable distance. So now that I live where I live, they have several conventions around me, and I live within driving distance of Raleigh and Charlotte, North Carolina, and sometimes conventions come there. So I'm hoping, you know, maybe in the next year or 2 I can go to one. If I do, I'm taking my trusty camera right here, and I will take you guys with me, and we will go see what it's like together. I want to know too. Trust me, I want to know. I do know this. They will usually have a deal on curriculum if you buy it at the convention, which is one of the reasons I wanted to go, was to save a little bit of money. So I don't know, but I would love to go, especially with some of the brands that I work with, like Apologia and IEW. I would love to meet in person these wonderful people. So I would love to know, if you've been to a convention, tell me, what is it like? Do you like it? Is it super, super crowded? I don't do well in crowds, but tell me, what is it like? Somebody tell me, friend to friend, do you like it? All right, so that is all the questions that I have. Let me know if you guys have any more. Maybe I'll film another Q&A video for you guys. But this was super fun. I love our Q&A days. Our Q&A days are just so fun. I feel like it's kind of like a friend coffee talk. So if you guys have more, let me know down below and I will get them going for our next Q&A video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.